One strike from the first day of the United States and Israel's war on Iran has come to define the conflict. On February 28, just hours after the assault on Iran began, a missile hit a girls' school in southern Iran, killing more than 170 people, most of them children. Nearly 2 weeks later, the attack is still surrounded by questions, but emerging evidence suggests the missile may have been fired by the United States. The attack hit Shajar-e-Tayyib's girls' school in the Iranian city of Manab, located in Hormozgan province near the Strait of Hormuz. The school sits close to facilities used by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. At around 10:45 a.m. local time, during peak classroom hours, a missile struck the two-story building. The explosion collapsed the roof, trapping students and teachers inside. At least 170 people were killed, most of them girls between 7 and 12 years old, and dozens more were injured. Satellite images show the school was fully intact earlier that morning before US Israeli strikes began across the province. Investigators analyzing video from the scene say the school was likely struck by a Tomahawk cruise missile. That matters because Tomahawk missiles are used by the US military, not Iran. According to early reports cited by the New York Times, US officials believe the strike may have been the result of a targeting error because the school sits on the same block as IRGC naval facilities. But for years, the school had been separated and had its own walls and entrances. Iran immediately blamed the United States and Israel. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi posted images of the destroyed school online, calling it a crime against Iranian civilians. Iran's foreign ministry also urged the United Nations Security Council to respond. For Tehran, the incident quickly became one of the most powerful symbols of the war's human cost. The response from Washington has been mixed. US President Donald Trump initially suggested that Iran itself may have carried out the strike, claiming Iranian weapons were inaccurate. However, he presented no evidence for that claim. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth did not repeat the allegation and instead said the Pentagon was investigating the incident.
The United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175 people?
In my opinion, based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
Is that true, Mr. Hegseth? It was Iran who did that?
We're certainly investigating.
Still
But
investigating?
the only side that targets civilians is Iran.
We think it was done. We think it was done by Iran
Can you give us an
because
idea
they're
of
very inaccurate, as you know, with their munitions. They have no accuracy whatsoever. It was done by Iran.
Later reports citing US officials indicated that a US Tomahawk missile was likely responsible. When asked about those reports, Trump responded, "I don't know about it." Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the United States would never intentionally target a school. Officials have continued to say that the investigation is ongoing.
Well, clearly, the United States would not deliberately target a school. Our objectives are missiles, both the ability to manufacture them and the ability to launch them, and the one-way attract drones. That would be our focus. Department of War would be investigating that if that was our strike, and I would refer your question to them, and I'll make sure they're aware that you have that question.
Israel has also denied any involvement. Israeli military spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Nadav Shoshani said the Israeli army had checked multiple times and found no connection to the strike. The incident is now becoming a political issue in the United States. Nearly all Senate Democrats, 46 lawmakers, have signed a letter demanding a swift investigation. They say the results of the strike are horrific, pointing out that most victims were young girls. Lawmakers are asking several questions. Did US forces carry out the strike? What systems were used to choose targets, and whether artificial intelligence tools played a role in selecting targets. Experts say if US responsibility is confirmed, it could fuel growing anti war sentiment in Congress and among the public. Civilian casualties caused by mistaken targeting are not new in modern warfare. In 1999, during NATO's bombing of Yugoslavia, US forces struck the Chinese embassy in Belgrade, killing 3 journalists. Investigators later said analysts relied on outdated maps that misidentified the building. The incident triggered a major diplomatic crisis with China. Another example came during the 1991 Gulf War when US forces bombed the Amiria bunker in Baghdad, believing it was a military command center. US aircraft dropped 2 precision bombs. The bunker was actually filled with civilians seeking shelter. More than 400 people were killed, and decades earlier, the My Lai massacre in Vietnam in 1968, where US soldiers killed hundreds of civilians, became one of the most infamous war crimes in American history. Schools and civilian buildings have also repeatedly been struck in more recent conflicts. During Israel's war in Gaza, multiple school buildings sheltering displaced civilians were hit by Israeli strikes. Similar incidents have been reported in Lebanon as well, where Israeli strikes during cross border fighting hit school compounds being used as civilian shelters. The United Nations has reported that multiple school compounds used as shelters in Gaza have been struck during the war, killing civilians and raising concerns about the protection of non combatants. Even if investigations confirm US responsibility for the Minab strike, the consequences may be limited. In past cases, disciplinary action has often been minor because punishment usually depends on whether the error can be traced to a specific individual, and the US defense leadership has repeatedly told service members, "I have your back," suggesting accountability may be limited. For many observers, the Manab school bombing has become one of the defining moments of the war's early days, not because of military strategy, but because it highlights the central question that follows almost every modern conflict: how many civilians end up paying the price of war?